We're joined in the studio again by Afua Akwa Harrison.
Because it's time to get interactive. So please send your comments via all our social media handles. Please remember the interactive segment on Joy News Prime is brought to you by Airtel, which offers you more talk, longer text, and all the internet browsing. All you have to do is dial *202# now to enjoy the benefits of the smartphone network. I'll be right back.
Joy News Interactive is...
So our social media handles are Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. You can find us on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. We're on Twitter with the same name, Joy News on TV. Alternatively, you can send your messages via WhatsApp. The number is 056080000. I think I said one more zero, but it's 0560800. Please add your name and location when sending us a message to the line. Now, I can tell you for a fact that persons with disability in Ghana go through a tough time in the country, educated or not. Strangely enough, there are several conventions and laws that are supposed to be in their favor. These haven't done much to ease their sufferings, though. Here is a bit of a report my colleague Matilda Wemega filed on graduates with disability.
He was not born blind, but after suffering a short illness at age 4, Amoni Nikwe became blind. 36-year-old Nikwe was born and raised in Accra. He lives with his family at Nima, a densely populated suburb of Accra, and does everything on his own. Nikwe knows his way around his immediate surroundings in the neighborhood. Going out to fetch water, washing, cooking, and cleaning his room forms part of his daily routine. The NVTI certificate holder in rural crafts from the Accra Rehabilitation Center is disappointed at the many hurdles inhibiting him from securing a job. He lives on the benevolence of friends and family, but says he is not giving up on achieving something for himself. One of his dreams is to become a radio presenter.
This youth employment thing, we try to involve ourselves, but we didn't get a chance. So far as I didn't get a chance, then I decided to do another course, which is that the talent I know I have to be on the radio. My passion is to be in the media, to be a presenter. That's my passion. That's what I know I can do to take care of my family. At times I sit behind my radio and be picturing the future. I say, wow, one day I also be.
Amazing young man there. Don't you agree, Francisca?
I agree, and I don't think that his dream is out of proportion, because
it's not, because
there's an ETV news
Paul
broadcaster.
Anomakode.
Yes.
And he can't see as well, and he uses the braille to actually read the news on TV. Amazing stuff. So yeah, these are some of the challenges persons with disability go through in Ghana, and I've actually interviewed a couple of them, and there are challenges with transportation, trying to get on
an entry to most buildings in this country. We just saw videos from Parliament.
Yeah.
They had to struggle up the stairs and down the stairs.
Yeah, it's quite sad. And like we've been saying, there are a lot of conventions that have been put in place to sort of curb or to fix these things and make more buildings disability friendly.
Yeah,
but
gathering dust on shelves. That's what happens to our laws.
Let's see what people are saying on WhatsApp. And this one is from Umar Abdul Hanan. He says, Accra, physically challenged, if you like disabled persons, they are highly discriminated against in our society, and thereby strengthening and affecting the perception by a good number of people about us. Our dreams, visions are shattered by virtue of the fact that we are not given the opportunities to manifest what the good Lord has deposited in us. Constituting 10% of the country's population, And I think I lost that comment there, but he has a long speech about what people with disability go through. And this one is from Kofi Jessin Abuakwa. He says, powerful people in this country are too heartless. It's always about them and their families. So can those who brag so much on air and claim to have it all help these vulnerable ones? Disability is anybody's lot, no matter your pedigree or social status. Once you are not dead, you can be disabled at any point in time. So those with power oppressing the people with special needs should reconsider their decisions. Tomorrow, it could be them. This one is from Kofi Jessin. This one is from Latilat in Kumasi. He says, sorry for that guy, Nee. Hope God makes a way for him and others like him. This one is a message from Kumasi. This one says, it's sad, even those with no disability have no jobs to do, how much more the physically challenged. And this one says, disability, people with disability are more focused and determined to sacrifice more for the country. You didn't add your name and location. And this one says, very pathetic. Government should take good care of them. And speaking of government, even our social welfare system, Francisca, is a bit...
They've got a lot of problems.
They've got a lot of problems.
They'll talk about infrastructure, finances.
Yeah. When?
Anyway,
we've also been asking you what you make of the situation of unemployed graduates who are living with disabilities. Here are your views from the streets.
It's a rather unfortunate situation that the disabled find themselves in. As at now, the policies in Ghana, there is no such policy, to provide employment for the disabled or to put them in a special queue, so to say, maybe as nurses, doctors, after school you get them employed. So it's rather unfortunate, and policies need to be made and a resolution found to that. Because even for people I would say are not disabled, there are lots of us on the streets who have completed the universities, finished good courses with good degrees, but are still unemployed. So singling out the disabled that they should be employed, I think it would be unfair on the government side also.
Once that they've been able to go to school, they've acquired the knowledge, it doesn't mean that they can't work. We are all human beings. It's God-given talent, or it's God-given ability. Once that you are able, if you can't, there are people that they have hands, they have legs, but they can't work. And we have people, they have no hands, they have no legs, but they can work. To my view, I think we should give them the chance. We should mingle around, because we are all God's created people. We shouldn't deprive them from what they can do. We should also give them the chance so that they can also bring out what they are able to do.
If they want to embark on a demonstration to ensure that they gain employment so that they can survive, I think it's their right. We support them. We will do everything we can to support them. Even if I had the means, I will give them something to support them in fighting for their rights.
Most of the times, people used to go on demonstration and do whatever they want, but the whole problem is not upon the government alone. We local people too should help and then do something better, because disabled man, you can go look at this shoemaker there, doing his own work. He will get something to feed on at the end of the day. So they shouldn't rely on the government alone to help them. You see, they should try and help themselves. They can either go to the ministers or any man who they think that he has something enough to help them, so that they go and do their own business.
Views from the streets, and some more of your comments on WhatsApp. This one is from Maliki Yakubu. He says the special schools threaten that they will not reopen schools next term if feeding grants are not released to them. This tells you how serious we are with our disabled society. And this one is talking about the guy in the report that we showed earlier. He says he's so amazing, God will make a way for for him. And this one is from Nash, and this one also says disabled people can be helpful in helping others when they are employed. Okay, and Kofi Jesse also says unemployed graduates in itself is a cliche. Whenever I hear, my heart bloats. If students are not going to be absorbed into the system, why don't you close down the universities? The most annoying ones are the unemployed teachers and unemployed nurses. And the guy is a professional trained teacher. That's the other guy who cannot see. He says he's a professionally trained teacher from UCC. So this one is from Kofi JC. After the break, we'll be talking about some politics. And you're welcome back to the interactive segment on Joy News Prime with me, Ifo Akwa Harrison. So, the newly elected parliamentary hopeful of the National Democratic Congress in the Ningo Pram constituency, Sam George, has been suspended from the party, apparently for conduct the party says the party says he has brought the party into disrepute. Okay, so this is what you've been saying about it on social media. Let's start with Facebook.
So there's a story we put up that the NDC suspends Sam George and Amasa Namwale. Comments coming to you. Nelly Ajeman says, Sam George, you see, I rest my case. Samora Kwabna says, has Sam George been suspended because he overthrew E.T. Mensa Mugabe, or it was because of arrogance? Anan Kabil Michael says, in fact, I'm not surprised that Sam George has been suspended. He has a political culture of insulting elderly people, but anytime he does it to NPP, the NDC jump in the air and support him, forgetting that when you throw a stone in the air, it comes back to you. Bash Mugabe says, wow, so suspension is not synonymous with NPP politics as we were made to believe. Ya Kunedu Boache says, were they not elected? How is this different from Mr. Afoko's suspension? Hypocrisy at its best. And it's interesting, the NDC MPP politics this is bringing. This is just about the NDC. Now, Shiv Manose says, this incompetent NDC, a frustrated party by all standards. You will see your real size in 2016. Ismail Halil says, it's good that Sam George okay, so he's saying what happened to him is good, and the harm, he's talking about the harm it will cause to him and his party. Victor Sympathy Bekle says, suspension because they think they were cheated. What a democratic party. Samuel Riafi says, so NDC is not immune to suspension. Hypocrites. Okay, Akosia Nyantechua says, I thought NDC never suspend, though. I see.
Okay, this one says, I think Sam George shouldn't make himself a god in the NDC like Paul Afoko is doing in the MPP. This one is a message from Rita, who is watching the show in the central region. This one is from Abugri Felix. He says, wrangling in both the MPP and the NDC. And we'll be talking about the MPP shortly. This one says, that's all they know how to do, suspension here and there. Why can't we all drop the NDC and MPP and move on to try new parties? Just now, Sam George wants to be an MP. Hey, Asembe Badebi. So this one is from Kofi JC watching the show in Ebwakwa. And this one says, Sam George deserves it. He is too arrogant. So those are some of your WhatsApp messages on this issue. Also, the NDC has been asked to suspend Dr. Zanato Rollins, who will be going for MP, or is supposed to be going for MP for Klote Kole constituency here in Accra. This is because she has no valid voters ID as of now. But let's move on and talk about the MPP. And it seems the two main political parties are on a suspension spree. General Secretary for the MPP, Kwabena Agyapong, is also facing a possible suspension for, quote, rubbishing the suspension of ex-party chairman Paul Afoko. Agyapong has been apologizing, but we're yet to see if that will win him any favors. But a lot of you have been commenting about this story as well on our Facebook page. Francisca,
So there's a story about the apology by Kwabena Ejepong. Boama Julius Trefor says, that's good. The intruder, Afoko, had wanted to poison your mind. But thank God you have been released from bondage. You have been in the party for a very long time, unlike Afoko, who was sent to dismantle the party and deny Ghana of good governance. Stay put. Raymond Ajenim Boateng says, apologizing is part of our culture. Suf bin Suf. He writes, that's humility and dedication to the party's cause, admitting his mistakes and accepting the decision of the disciplinary committee no matter what. True sign of leadership, and I salute my man, Kwabena. Chef Manose says, you have shown maturity, Secretary. This is the mark of a true patriot. I am proud of you, Mr. Kwabena Ejepong. Adolfo Ebenezer says, if only the information is true, I think the disciplinary committee should reconsider their decision to suspend him. Accepting his mistakes is a step in the right direction.
And Papa Uncle in Tamale says, they should give us a break. We have had enough of this as Ghanaians. And then this one says, two major political parties are in chaos. And this one is from Anthony in Akosombo. When we come back from the break, I have a trending video for you. Please stay.